Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of Madden 18 Dallas Cowboys Franchise here as we're getting ready for week 18, and it's going to be a bye week for us. This is the wildcard weekend, and we're going to take a quick look here at our injury report here and see who is still on the shelf. There you see Jalen Smith actually will be back next week, so this is actually a good week to heal up. And then of course here you see Sean Lee. If we once we get past the conference or the divisional round, there's a good chance that Sean Lee will be back for the divisional game. And just take a look here. We're gonna just take a quick look here around the league of who's injured and seeing there's key injuries like the Eagles, for example. There's Sproles there; he's out there for a while, and just a couple other players there. So we're just gonna kind of just look around here in the league. Well, while we're doing that, just talk about this season so far here. I'm pretty impressed so far with this season that we've had. Really thought that we were going to go undefeated once we got to weeks 15 and 16 and 17. Really looking promising, but then of course you have the spoiler there, that being the Eagles coming in and just really doing a number on us. I could not believe the way they were playing that week, that final week of the season. Which is rightfully so, because the guys have been working hard. They've been putting in a lot of effort there into the season, and of course we made a good job. I mean, we did a great job of fighting back there and just getting only within a possession of them. As bad as it was at halftime there, I think it was like 28-7 at half or 35-7 or something like that at half. So we were able to keep them within range and hold them down as much as we could there to give us a chance to come back in the game, which was helpful, but unfortunately just was not enough to get the win there and to be another undefeated team there in the NFL. So I mean, and I guess another way, I guess it is good. It's nice to see that we're human in some ways as a team, that we do have flaws, which I've pretty much exposed those flaws here throughout the whole season. Talking about like videos like this, talking about what we need to improve in, and more so the areas that we really need to kind of button up and get ready, because if we don't, then when the bottom drops out, we're gonna be in trouble. So a lot of ways that I was talking about that a lot more than I was so about actually hey, we really did a great job in this. We need to improve that. I think I exposed a lot more flaws in our defense and our offense than we did that I did saying how great our team is. I mean, we had a great running team this year. One guy I can think of, which we'll see his stats here in just a bit, is Darren McFadden. I mean, one of those guys that you thought was kind of just a bust after a couple seasons, unsuccessful seasons with a couple of teams, but then this year he just I know in real life not the case, but at least in this one in Madden this year in our series here on the ESGNet, he's been pretty much an MVP. He really did a great job stepping up when Zeke Elliott was out for that time there, and then of course he was out because of injury. So I should say Alfred Morris was another person that was did great there, but he got knocked out, of course, and then we brought in McFadden, and then after McFadden we ended up bringing in Jason Johnson, who I'm really considering to bring back next season there for us to help us out in the running game there. But honestly, that is something I was trying to, at least for our running game there, is to create a two-headed, or even if, in this case, a three-headed monster in that backfield, so we can really utilize them, so we can take the pressure off of Dak, because I think with having all that pressure on him, it's going to help him out, be more confident there behind center, be able to make better passes. Because I mean, if you look at the numbers here, which we're about to hopefully see here in a bit, I mean, it's crazy. Okay, we're taking a look at numbers now. It's crazy that he was not, he was one of the top three guy, I think, in the top five in the finalists there for MVP, and he threw that many interceptions this year. As you take a look at our passing touchdowns there throughout the league there, and there's some pretty interesting numbers there. I mean, he had twice as more that I really wanted him to have. I wanted him to have somewhere in single digits. He's 44 touchdowns, 26 interceptions for the season, the worst in the NFL this year, and he's still, people are, he's put up some really great numbers, over 5,000 yards passing there. So he's really worked himself in, I think worked himself getting that sophomore jinx off of him. And I think next season, once we get the new season going for himself, I think he'll be a more precise passer, and he'll take his time. I want him to also run more often, so if he gets in trouble, be able to get out of the pocket and take off. But with that, we need better blocking, because our blocking, I will say, I know I'm showing all the negative here, but I will say that it's been kind of lacking here as of late. We've been getting sacked more often than we should, and I just really hope we can clean that up during the off season there, and get some better pass protection there. Not one of our main concerns, because our main concern, of course, is our defense, because we do need to clean up that defense there, especially in our linebackers situation there. We got to get some better linebackers, and of course, a safety here, or a corner here and there for our team. But for the most part here, I'm really proud of the guys this year of what they've done so far here. But the work is still still being done, because we now have a second half of the season now to worry about. It's going to take a lot for this team to do, because we got some pretty good teams in this playoffs right now that are going to be very impressive, both not just in the NFC, but also in the AFC. And we'll show you guys those teams here in just a bit. But just taking a look at some of the stats here, you see a lot of broken tackles there from this year from LaShawn McCoy there just had a great year. Elliott there, 45 tackles that he broke in this season. And he missed a significant number of time with us. Lost 6 weeks there, which was, still he was in the top. I think he's in one of the top. I think he's in the top 5 there for rushing yards, rushing yards and also touchdowns this year. Even though he missed those games there, and he was really impressive. And quite a few games this year. He's had a couple. I want to say, I don't know the exact number, but I'm just going to make an educated guess. I think maybe 2 or 3 games he didn't go over 100 yards. But for the most there, he's gone over 100 yards and just really had an impressive year this year. But hopefully next year we'll have him more full time. Hopefully he won't have no off-the-field issues or anything like that. And hopefully we can get him. Hopefully we can get all these guys into off-season training as soon as possible once the season's over with. But of course, our main focus right now is the Super Bowl, making our way up to the Super Bowl this year, of course, which is in Minnesota, there in the Twin Cities there, and we're gonna try to see if we can bring home a title, because I said at the beginning of this series we're gonna try to make the Dallas Cowboys America's team once again. And in order to do that, we have to start winning Super Bowls. And that means, we're going to have to be the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s, winning, not necessarily back-to-back Super Bowls, but multiple Super Bowls within a decade there. Now, are we able to really do that here in this game? It all depends on time constraints, how often we are able to play this game. Because I know downloads or uploads here on the channel has been kind of slow here, because I've been very busy with personal life and whatnot. But that's something I want to go into more. I want to get immersed into more of this team and get more content of this series out there for you guys. So because so far it really truly has been a lot of fun. I've already kind of mapped out of what we're gonna do for the more so than I think than any other series I've had, any other we call Madden series I've had on here on the channel. I've really you know, looking at my draft boards and looking at who's going to be possibly there at our pick and whatnot, and then possibly, you know, we're looking at trying to move some guys around, maybe find some draft picks there to help us out, try to maybe get up further up in the draft board depending on where we're at after this season's over with here. So a lot of things, you know, playing the factor of this and everything, but you know, I'm also, you know, I think I've said this before, doing this series, I really don't do too much trading. I don't do too much, you know, I really focus on the draft and making the players on my draft better. You know, drafting, you know, halfway decent guys and try to make them better over a course of time. You know, I usually give them 2 to 3 seasons to try to get better. If they don't get to that satisfaction that I want them to be at, then, you know, that's when I start saying, okay, we gotta get rid of this guy. You know, this guy needs to go because of X, Y, or Z, and we just need to make, you know, try to get, you know, improve our status in certain areas there. And areas I like to try to get better at is like on the defense. Try to make the defense a lot stronger. Make, you know, have guys that we can, linebackers and especially the defensive line and the corners and stuff like that. Especially corners. I mean, I've learned that a lot here playing this game here in the last couple of years now, that you know, if you don't have good corners, you will get burnt really quick and very often. So that's just something we're going to try to work on here as we progress throughout this series here with the Dallas Cowboys. That is something, like I said, we're going to be working on here, and I think our corners so far this year have been pretty decent. You know, that we haven't been making spectacular plays. I mean, we had that really great game there against Seattle just a couple of weeks ago here, and that was really impressive. There we got 5 picks. 2 of the 5 went back for pick sixes. And you don't see that too often with Russell Wilson. I was able to, you know, the team was able to figure out had a game plan in the second half to able to get them to put pressure on him, because, you know, Russell Wilson, I mean, if he does not have pressure on, he can throw around all game long, and that's what something he was doing there in the first half with us. But going on to the you know, second half, we were able to really I was really able to focus in on what he was trying to do. You know, trying to throw out the backfield there, and then you know, from our point of view on offense, you know, I was really being cautious and being careful of exactly where Sherman was or where Cam was, especially if we were throwing deep, which I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, you know, you need to throw deep more often to Daz and whatnot. Okay, my bad. But anyway, yeah, I know that's true and everything. But, you know, I don't like to throw in double coverage. I just don't think it's not necessary. I'm not going to try to, I mean, yes, it'll be a great way to show my skills, I guess you could say. But I think I've said this before a lot of times in a lot of videos. My skills are not like other guys here on YouTube that do it. I just do it to play. I do it try to do it a little more realistic, or more just logical of making choices of who I'm passing to and how often I'm going to go to that person. But I will say that I will make more attempts here as we start the playoffs here, as we're going to get ready to see sometime here soon in this video who we're going to be playing. I think we're going to make more opportunities here to be more, a little bit more risky, throwing down deep with Dez there, because, you know, Dez is getting up in there in age right now, and that's one spot we're going to start worrying about. I think won't worry about this year, but maybe next year or the year after, and start figuring out who the next guy is going to be to help us out there in that position there with when it comes to wide receivers there. I can't remember if Dez is up for. I don't think he is. I don't think he's up for. I think he has still a couple more years with us on his contract there. But that's something we're going to be looking into. And I mean, if we happen to find a guy on our board, which I have a couple of wide receivers that I've been looking at, if we happen to have a wide receiver on that board there that works out for us and can be a a asset for us coming up, then that's what we'll do. We'll try to draft him and get him involved into the into our game plan there and whatnot, and kind of help out with the ball club there. So like I said, with coming with drafts and all that kind of stuff, this year I think I have a very good plan. I have a plan that I can go with, and I feel confident with our game plan that we have for the off season and what we're going to do there. But you know, things can drastically change. You know, guys that there are a couple guys that we are looking at for re-signing. I know, I will tell you, there's going to be a good handful of guys that will not return next season. I can't really think of the names right now. I don't have them on me right now, as I'm trying to move some stuff around here, trying to find some information for you guys here. But take a look here at the MVP rate. Look there you see Dak Prescott. Personally enough, I mean, like I said, honestly, my opinion, he should not get MVP this season because with the interceptions that we've had. But they say that he has it, so he's going to be our MVP for the season. Our Coach of the Year, of course, Garrett there. I think that's just because we're 15-1 for the postseason, or, you know, for the regular season there. Tom Brady, your best quarterback there for the AFC there, or I should say Offensive Player of the Year there. So Brady gets that. As we go take a look here at the AFC, look at the AFC Defensive Player of the Year, and that will be Von Miller of the Broncos there. Congratulations to him, as the Broncos not a great year there, 10-6, but they played decent. I think they're in the playoffs this year here, at least in this Madden. I know in real life they were just horrible in real life there. Deshaun Watson, your Rookie of the Year there for the offense there for the AFC. Congratulations to him as he gets that, and he can take that award home So congrats to him. And of course, in real life, great year he's had. Of course, he had that injury there, which really, I think it just was horrible. I think I was gonna say, when I was in Tech, or when I went to Houston back in November, I was about to go to a game there of him to see how well he played. And I think he was still injured at that time there. So, but yeah, great guy there, great player. I think Houston has a great future with him, both in real life and in this game. Tom Brady there again, your best QB for the AFC. You got other guys like Roethlisberger, Rivers, and Andy Dalton, and of course Alex Smith there in last place there in 10th, there with a 5-10-1 record there for KC. And we'll go ahead and go on here. Marshawn Lynch, your best running back there in the AFC. Of course, why not? I mean, he's just can I say it? A beast mode, a beast himself. Had a great year here in this game. We played against him there, and I think towards the end of this season there, and he was pretty tough. He was a pretty tough player, guy that tried to wrap up. I remember there was one play, they just snapped the ball, and he just blew right off just shot out like a cannon out of the line, from the line of scrimmage there, and I really thought, to myself, I'm like, this is gonna be a tough day. But I think we were able to cap him. We didn't keep him under 100 yards there, but we were able to put some yardage there, keep him at, he didn't have a ridiculous number or anything like that. I think it was around 120 or so he had in the game. He didn't have like the 150 or 200 I thought he was going to have when we started the game there. I think it was two times that he had over 50 yards from line of scrimmage there, just making one good shift of his body, and he was down the field. So very impressive player here, and that's somebody I just don't look forward to playing again. Hopefully we do not have him on the schedule next year, because having guys like that, it's just so tough to, especially when you got a good quarterback also. And for me, my main focus is trying to shut down the quarterback, get him to figure out other ways to to throw the ball and stuff like that. And here in a lot of games, we've been playing against teams with some, really good halfbacks. I mean, it's been really tough trying to corral them and try to, because once you get that shut down, then it's okay, now I got to worry about the quarterback. They're gonna start passing on me, and here I'm looking for the run. But then you start making plays you start getting plays for the run, and then when you should be looking for the pass, and it's crazy. So and also too, with this new slider set I've been working on here, and I've been using here the last couple of episodes now, it's been a little more challenging now. So I think that's what really I finally caught up with me with the Eagles game there, that the computer was able to figure out what I was doing, and I was just lost with that game there. But hey, we like I said, we came back, we figured it out, and we're able to do what we had to do. Now, NFC player of the offensive player of the year there is, of course, Matthew Stafford there. Great year there. Really no issues with interceptions. Quite a few touchdowns there for him. Congrats to him. He well deserved there for him. As you take a look at the other offensive players there, you got Prescott right there at 3. Rodgers, of course, if you're in the company of Rodgers and Breeze there, you're in good shape. Aaron Donald, your defensive player for the NFC there. They're having a great, decent time there in that one. And actually, really, truly, I think this team overall for the Rams there on this game is actually pretty impressive. I'm really impressed with what I've seen there. Even though there's 9-7, I think they made to the playoffs. They might have. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of new because I know I recorded this and everything. This is like weeks ago. But kind of forgot who made it and who didn't, so bear with me here. But yeah, just some really good, impressive names there in the mix there with a lot of names. And let's continue talking about these players that have been doing really well. One of them is that I've noticed here has been doing really well with a couple of games is our rookie wide receiver, and that would be Ryan Switzer there. Just a very impressive kid there. Great job of really, having some brutal hits there. And I know you shouldn't, you lead your wide receiver out like that much or that often. But when he gets those catches, and get him out there to just hang out to dry there, he is a tough kid. I mean, he holds on to the ball there and just gets some good hits there. So we have to, I would say he's our rookie for the team there. He's just really been impressive, really showing off what he can do with our ball club and with just the season overall there. I think he's been really working very hard there. I think next season, depending on how well he plays here in this playoffs, and he can continue what he is doing towards the second half of this season, after I think, I can't remember which game it was. It was a breakout there. But if he can continue doing that for the rest of the season and going into this postseason, he's definitely got a shot to fight for a battle. He can fight for the second or third spot in the wide receiver positions there. So very impressive kid there, and very happy that we were able to have him on the team. And great pick there for the Dallas Cowboys because he's been very impressive there. I've been putting him in a lot more packages as of late here, and I think it's working out for us so far here. So nice job there. There you see our O-line there. Yeah, I know. I talked about them earlier. Yeah, they are. Those 3 guys right there, great guys. You got Zach, Martin, Frederick, and then, of course, Smith there. But we still have issues with that line there, I think. Collins right there is the one that's kind of been hurting, and he's been giving up quite a few sacks there. I think with the total, I think he's given up 10 sacks so far, and the other guys have just only given up 2. So we're gonna have to work on that, and like I said, that's gonna be something we're gonna have to work on. Now run blocking has been great. We just got to work on that pass blocking there to help us out a lot more as we go along here. So that's something that we're going to work with the offensive coordinator with, and actually got a chance to talk to him while this week while they were in practice, and that was something that was brought up very, very often with this ball club. That was something they need to worry about going to the playoffs. They need to do a better job of pass protection and just overall just making sure Dak has enough time to be able to look down the field and make a good choice of who the open guy is and get that ball to that guy. So we'll be looking into that here. That's something you guys should be able to see here coming up in the next game when they well, at least when we find out here in a bit who we're going to be playing against for the divisional game there. So and then of course there you see our kickers there, wrapping this up here, almost done with these awards there. Hopefully you guys got a chance. I'll actually leave the winner names down there below in the comments down there for you guys to check out who won and who took home those awards there. I'll put that at the description down there. But we'll go ahead and getting close to wrapping up this video. We'll look at the NFL records this season, and then you see games, yards, pass, or passing yards for a single game. There you see Prescott there, 577. That was a game that he had all those interceptions. I think he had like 5 or 6 interceptions. I think he had like 5 touchdowns. So yeah, that was a tough game. But he got the. I mean, I guess in retro, I guess as a consolation prize, I guess he gets his name in the record books there. You see Ben Roethlisberger. He also had I think 7 touchdowns in a single game this season. You see Michael Bennett, who will probably end up eventually meeting up with the Seahawks here in the playoffs. He has 6 sacks, defensive sacks this season there. So that right there, of course, 7 by Derek Thomas for the Chiefs, late Derek Thomas there. Passing yards there in a season so far, Aaron Rodgers, there you see 5,491. And there you see him right there, just right above Peyton Manning. And then you see Prescott there. He in his season so far for his year, there you see 5,052. Beating just Stafford from just a couple years ago there in 2012 with records there. Season passing touchdowns there, 44 for this season. And unfortunately, he's in right there, like I said, Drew Brees and Dan Marino there. Couldn't get more than that this year. I think if he didn't have so many interceptions, I think he probably could have with the way he was passing there. And then we'll see Aaron Donald there with his sacks for the season, 21 there. Of course, Michael Strahan there with 22, the most from a single person in a single season. Take a look at the stats or standings right now, and there you see the Steelers are going to go on. They're going to have a 9-7 record there. As for in the AFC South, you got the Jaguars 13-3. Titans 9-7. They're both going to go to the playoffs. Jaguars will get a bye week, so they'll be playing their first game here coming up in the divisional round. Of course, the Patriots there 14-2, lead the AFC East division. Dolphins right behind them 8-8. Bills 6-10, and of course Jets 3-13. Chargers and Broncos are both going on. They both have a great record. They're tied at 10-6 for the season, and of course Raiders 6-10, and Chiefs 5-10-1. Now in the NFC North, Lions are going to move on with a 12-3-1 record. Packers, not a good season there for them, 7-9. Bears 6-9-1, and 5-10-1 Vikings. Falcons 10-12 or 12-14. They're going to move on. They're going to go to the playoffs. Saints also are going to be there too with a 10-6 record. Buccaneers 5-10-1. Of course, there you see us 15-1. Going with us from the NFC East will be the the Redskins there with a 9-7 record. So it looked like 9-7. You got a pretty good chance to go in if you're except for the Rams there. They did not make it, but the Seahawks will. And of course, the 49ers won their first game this season in the last week, just the same time as we lost our first game of the year. So take a look here at the wild card postseason and how the games are going to look like. We got the Titans and Chargers there. The Chargers are going to host the Tennessee Titans in that game, that Saturday afternoon game. And then Saturday night game will, of course, be the Redskins and Falcons. That is a game that we're going to be watching out for, because whoever wins that game, we will play that team. No, I think if the Redskins win, they'll play us. If the Falcons win, I think they play who's the other team that's going to? Can't remember the other team. I think that's how the matchup is, whatever. And then the Denver Broncos going against the Steelers there for the early Sunday afternoon, Sunday afternoon game, and then the late game there Sunday night or Sunday afternoon is the Saints and Seahawks there. Really good. Both of those games right there are really got some pretty good matchups there, especially with that Seahawks Saints game. That's gonna be a really one. I wouldn't mind watching myself there. It looks pretty interesting there. So we'll see who's gonna win those games here coming up in a week's time. So the next episode here that you guys will see will, of course, be the Insider, which we'll get into pretty much we'll look into our team's stats here this season. I'll show you, break those down there, and show you guys what we did for the season from player to player. But we'll go ahead and take a look here and see what's going to happen here. And it looks like the Chargers are going to move on. They win this one 26-14 against the Titans. Redskins will go ahead and move on. They win this one, a big one, 48-10 against Atlanta. Broncos and Steelers, 35-30 right there. That's a good game right there. And then you see you got the Seahawks going to move on. They win this one 41-24 against the Saints there. So I'm hoping that Falcons game was not like I know it's a bad, horrible joke, but I hope it's not like it was in the Super Bowl. They had the lead and then turn around and let the Redskins come back and win it. But no, it looks like the Redskins did a great job there, just holding them down there defensively there. Just did a great job there and just putting on a good game there. So it looks like we are going to be looking at the Redskins. I think that's where we'll play them. So we've already played the Redskins twice back in Week 8 and Week 13, and we'll kind of talk about that in the Insider there. We'll talk about that matchup there. But there you see the next matchup coming up for the divisional round. You got the Steelers going to Foxborough. You got, of course, the Redskins coming to Dallas. Chargers are going to head all down to Jacksonville. And the Seahawks are going to face the Lions. Yeah, okay, yeah, there's the Lions, the other team, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how that's going to match up here. Like I said, it'll be our third time we're playing against them this season. The first time we played again, it was a close game. It was 24-23. We won that one by the skin of our teeth. And then the second time we met there in Dallas, which was, I think it was Thanksgiving weekend, we just went off on them. I think we won 48-10 or 51-10 or something like that. So we'll talk more about that coming up in the next episode here of the next video coming up, which will be Cowboys Insider. So there you see the 9-7 Redskins coming up to Dallas once again for an NFC divisional playoff game here. It should be a good one here. And they say, playing a team twice is hard. Playing a team now 3 times, well, the way we've been playing, especially in week 17, we lost that game there. Hopefully we do not have a repeat of performance like we did in week 17. Hopefully we'll be able to come out of the gate real quick and put this game away quick and early as we can, and really try to dominate them in the running game there. And of course, I would like to open up in the passing game if we can, but I think we're gonna need to run a little bit more because that game in that last week there against the Eagles, we just did not run that well. We did not put our running game out there. We didn't give Zeke or any of those guys a chance to really do anything. So we'll try to see what we can do there in this next episode coming up. So stay tuned for episode 19, which will be the Dallas Cowboys franchise. It'll be the divisional game, but actually before that, it'll be a insider video. We'll take a look at the stats of the Cowboys, what they did this season, and what we look forward to coming up here in this divisional round against the Redskins. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep yourselves together healthy, and I will see you guys next time.